Welcome, football fans. It's the Week 7 Pick'ems. I'm Chris Billings, joined by my co-host, Tony Parlay Reyes and Nicholas Kerr. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Tony, how's the mustache coming?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. Someone did say I look like Mario from Super Mario Brothers. It hurt me a little bit inside, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe I can pull that Halloween costume off.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. I'm a plumber.
We'll see what we can do in video editing once this is done. So, all right, let's jump into it. It's time for some games. First game of the Sunday, Raiders at Bears. Las Vegas favored by 3 points. I can sleep in this Sunday. No London game. It's awesome. All right. Nick, I will start with you. Who do you have, the Raiders or the Bears?
I'm going to go with the Raiders in this game because even though they've struggled this year, they still find themselves at 3-3. And with the Bears possibly being without Justin Fields, or if he is out, I don't think that the Bears have any chance in this game.
Nick, I'm in agreement with you. I also have the Raiders. Yeah, without Justin Fields, the Bears are bad. And also, as I've said many times throughout the season, Raiders have some really good players on that team, and I'm going to stick with it. They just have a terrible coach that's going to go to hell someday. So, Tony, who do you have, Raiders or Bears?
Give me that coach in hell, Josh McDaniels, and the Raiders. They are winning this game because I watched a half of the backup quarterback for the Bears. Still don't know his name. Not going to learn his name because the Bears stink. Raiders winning this game by more than a field goal. Easy.
Trace McSorley?
Nope. It's something different, man. It's like,
all right, I tried.
Nick, you got a guess? You got a guess?
No, I got no guess.
Fake Nick Garnet Sage? Something like that, man. I'm telling you, it's bad.
All right. Well, I jumped to Browns Colts. We'll have Tony look up who the backup QB for the Bears is. So, Browns at Indianapolis Colts. Browns coming off a big win against the San Francisco 49ers in their all-white elf uniforms, favored by 2.5 points. Nick, let's see who you got in this one, Browns or Colts?
Chris, I'm going Browns in this game because I think their defense made a little bit of a statement last week against the 49ers. And I think they're going to have a much easier opponent with the Gardner Minshew-led Colts this week. I think the Browns end up winning this, and I think this is probably the first time I picked them all year.
I think it actually is the first time you picked Massage Man, who is due to start in this game. I also have the Browns in this game. That defense is playing amazing. They'll have Deshaun Watson back, and then the Colts are without Richardson. Whatever offense they have, it's going to be through Jonathan Taylor most likely. So, yeah, give me the Browns all day. Let's check in on Tony. Oh, he's on the Lonely Island. But first, let's see if the Lonely Island gets Wi-Fi. Who is the Bears' backup QB?
Tyson Bagent. Bagent?
Oh,
Tyson
Bagent.
Bagent?
Yes, Bagent.
Bagent? Bagent. Okay. Tyson Bagent.
That is not
That
Trace
is
McSorley. Alright, Tony. Tell us why you're picking the Colts.
Give me Jonathan Taylor and this Gardner Minshew mustache. 2.5 points at home. Browns too high off that upset win over the Niners. Colts cover. Browns win.
I see what's going on here. This is just a mustache play on your part, so... Hey, credit to you for sticking what you know. Alright, we have a divisional matchup. AFC East, the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Bills favored by 8.5 points. Nick, I will start with you, our AFC East expert. Who do you have?
I'm going with the Bills in this game. I almost went with the Pats because it's a division game and they're normally closer than a touchdown spread. But I believe that the Bills just have too much firepower, and the Pats are actually giving up more points on offense than they're scoring right now. So that chemistry, that I'm taking the Bills in this game.
Nick, I'm in agreement with you. Most years I would pick the Patriots just off of the Bill Belichick magic against divisional opponents, but that is quickly waning. Mac Jones sucks. I'm sorry. Don't mean to pile on a guy, but he's not the answer for the Patriots. I see him going somewhere else this season. I can just tell Bill Belichick hates him as well, but no. Patriots decline. They're a true number one contender. So, give me the Bills all day. Let's check in on Tony. Still on the island. What's going on? Why are you picking BB and the Pats?
Sounds like backup quarterback Tyson Bagent's on the hot seat. Bagent? Mac Jones is coming for that job. But give me Mac Jones and the Patriots. 8.5 points. Patriots been dog shit all season. You guys know this. I know this. Why do I keep picking the Patriots? I don't know. Mac Jones took that safety last week to ruin that cover for me against the Raiders. They got to cover sometime. Give me the Patriots and the 8.5 points today.
All right. You can have them, Tony. Moving on, we have another divisional matchup in the NFC East. Commanders at the New York Giants in the Meadowlands. Washington favored by 1.5 points. Stick with myself on this one. I have the Commanders. I think Sam Howell and the Commanders have just managing to get it done this season. I told both of you they're one of the cockroach teams this season, that they just keep finding a way to win games magically. Then the Giants are just a bad team. Like, Daniel Jones and Dable just aren't clicking at this moment, and they know it. And so, if anything, this will be a desperation game for the Giants, which, that's a stinky cologne, my friends. Give me the Commanders all day. Nick, who do you have?
I'm right there with you, Chris. I'm taking the Commanders in this because, like you said, Sam Howell in his last 3 games has 829 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And like you said, the Giants aren't playing very well right now, so I'm going to take the Commanders in this game.
All right, so that leaves us with Mr. Lonely Island. He's still in a tropical location. Tell us why you're picking your rival Giants.
You said that they were desperate and they smelled like stinky cologne. This game smells like stinky cologne. Commanders Giants 1.5 point spread on a 1 o'clock game. You know, the commies, I'm not a bit believer. I just don't see enough in Sam Howell and Ron Rivera and whatever that joke of a team is. The Giants, they want to win, man. They threw the kitchen sink at the Bills. They probably should have won. We saw what happened at the end of the game. They're a better coach team. They're gonna win this game. Giants getting a win. They've been so close, man. Give me the Giants in this game.
No offense to my local hero, Mark Schlereth, but usually the games that he's calling are ass games. This is most likely going to be the game Mark Schlereth is calling for Fox this weekend. So yes. All right. Excuse me. Got the Falcons at the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, fresh off a loss, favored by 2.5 points in this one. Nick, I will jump to you. Who do you got in this one, Falcons or Bucs?
I'm going to go with the Bucs in this game. I think they put off that 6 points they scored last week against the Lions, and I think they do score a lot more at home. Hopefully they're not wearing those creamsicle uniforms.
Oh, the cursed dreamsicle uniforms. Yes, but no, I'm picking the Bucs as well, Nick. I'm sorry. Can't pick the Falcons anymore. Sorry, Dirty Birds. I'm done with you. I've gotten burned too many times. I don't know what you're going to do. Also, divisional matchup. I just think the Bucs are better, and I called them for winning the NFC South. So, Tony. Hey, off the island it looks like. Tell us why you're in agreement in picking the Bucs.
Back on the mainland, agreement with the family here. Give me the Bucs, man. To be honest, there's just no way I can pick Desmond Ridder and the Falcons. I know what he's going to do, and I don't want any part of it. It's insanely disappointing and frustrating to watch. I know what Baker's going to do. I'm buying into that. I really think this Baker Bucs thing is legit. Like, they like him. I think it's a good match there. And they did get just creamed by the Lions. I think they bounce back. I think they win this game by more than a field goal.
All right, full agreement on that game. So, a little more interesting game here. Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored by a field goal in this game, surprisingly. I will start with you, Nick. Who do you have? Do you have the Dirty Cats or do you have the Ravens?
This was one of the tougher ones to pick this week because this was one of the few good games that we actually do have this week. But I'm going to take the Lions on this because I think that offense and defense is playing really well right now, and I think Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of that defense is going to cause some fits for Lamar Jackson. I'm going to take the Lions in this game.
Nick, I'm in agreement with you. I'm taking the Lions. Like, they're clearly the better team right now, and I think that defense is going to force Lamar Jackson to win that game in the air. And I've been saying it all season. Lamar Jackson has no weapons. The only weapon on that Baltimore offense is Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. And so I just see the Lions giving him just a fit throughout this game. I see them winning by a touchdown or more. So, let's jump to Tony. Parlay Reyes. He left mainland, back to his island. Tell us why you're picking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
I think Nick was right on. This is probably one of the better games of the weekend. I had a lot of problem picking this one, so I feel like it's going to be a push. And I think the Lions' weakness is their secondary. It really will come down to it. His name's Zay Flowers. That's the receiver for the Ravens. Maybe you were sleeping. He did have a pretty good game against the Titans last week, Billings. But I will say, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, maybe Odell. This is the test for the Lions. I think the Ravens, I think this is a push. They win this game at home. If the Lions do win, that's kind of their this is legit win. They're beating a contender. And I think that's what we'll say after the Lions. But I'm not there yet with them. Give me the Ravens at home.
Hey, Zay Flowers, credit to him last week, but the week before against that Steelers defense,
true,
much different look by him. And that Lions defense with Aiden Hutchinson, no joke. So, speaking of the Steelers, they're in Los Angeles this weekend facing the Rams. Rams favored by a field goal. I'll start with myself on this one. I'm going with the Rams. They're just the better team. Steelers having to travel to the West Coast on top of it. I just see Stafford and that offense, Puka Nacua. I believe Cooper Kupp is also going to be back as well. I just see them just tearing up like a very weak Steelers secondary. If anything, Stafford will have some issues with TJ Watt, but he just has to get the ball away as quick as he can to one of those receivers. Give me the Rams in this one. Nick, what about yourself?
Chris, I'm right there with you, and I think I know how they're going to keep TJ Watt off him. They're going to need to run the ball because their running back Williams, 2 out of the last 3 games, he's gone over for over 100 yards. The one game he didn't, they ended up losing. So I think they end up feeding the running back and giving Matthew Stafford some more time back there.
Okay, all right. Tony, let's check in on you. Oh, you haven't moved. You're still on an island. Tell us why you're picking Tomlin and his Steelers.
Another great game. Good spread. I think the books got this right. But Mike Tomlin, 12-4 coming off a bye. Even though he does have to go to the West Coast, he is coming off a bye. Feels a little trappy with that 3. I like the Steelers to cover this at least. Give me the Steelers on the road.
Fair enough. would not surprise me if Mike Tomlin, coming off a bye weekend, managed to pull the upset like he usually does. So, hey. Cardinals, Seahawks, divisional matchup. NFC West. Seahawks, surprisingly favored by 7.5 points in this game, coming off a fresh loss. So, Nick, I'll start with you. Who do you have in this game?
See, this one was a little hard for me to pick because I don't know what... The Cards have looked good some weeks, and then there's other weeks that look like complete voodoo. So, I'm going to take the Seahawks in this because I believe that Geno Smith has a much better game than he had last week, and they shore up some of those red zone issues. And if they do, this game really shouldn't be close. So I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Tony.
I'm right there with you, Nick. Cardinals, they're so inconsistent, but I know that they'll compete, but man, I think Geno bounces back and plays a lot better than he did against that Bengals team. That Bengals defense was causing nightmares for him in the red zone. Back at home, 12th man, gets real loud. I could see the defense set him up for some easy scores. The receivers bounce back. DK Metcalf has a good game. Yeah, give me Seahawks 7.5.
Boys, I'm on the lonely island on this one. I'm going with the Cardinals. Apply some sunscreen right now while I'm on my lonely island. But yeah, I'm going with the Cards on this game. Like, what really tipped me off with this one was that 7.5, that half point there hook. I don't see the Seahawks winning by more than a touchdown. Cards have kept it competitive in a lot of games this year. And then Seahawks also just coming off of a weird loss last week, and I think they still have some of that weird energy they're going to carry into this game. Cardinals, like, they're playing with house money, essentially. Like, they're just out there just trying to win games to their best. So I see this being within a touchdown, but the Seahawks still win. So let me reapply some sunscreen. We'll move on. Divisional matchup, AFC West. KC favored by 5.5 points. Tony, I'll jump to you.
This game, man, I feel bad for you guys. You know what? No, I feel bad for you, Brandon Staley, because you're going to get fired after this game. You're going to go to Kansas City. It's Arrowhead. You play the Chiefs tough. That's probably why you still have a job. For some reason, you play the Chiefs tougher than anyone else in the AFC West, but you're going to lose this game, and the Chargers are going to fire you. Chiefs will probably mess around in the first half, but they'll win this game by a touchdown, and you will get fired because Justin Herbert is regressing, not looking good in the fourth quarter of games. Kellen Moore is going to be the coach by week 8, week 9. You're out of there. Sorry, Brandon Staley. Give me the Chiefs 5.5 points at home.
Hot take by Tony,
Yeah.
Although I had Staley fired probably 3 weeks ago, so fair. I also have the Chiefs in this game. The only thing that has me skeptical is the Chiefs just being cats playing with their food. But no, I see them win by a touchdown in this game. It's also being played at Arrowhead. I think you have to take that into account. And then we'll probably also have some Taylor Swift sightings as well for this game. So it is just all the energy working against the Chargers, who are just not a very good team right now. And yes, Kellen Moore, I'm starting to see more and more why the Cowboys got rid of that guy. Nick, how about yourself?
I mean, I agree with both of you with everything you guys both just said. Chiefs are on a roll right now, even though they're just, like you said, playing with their food. 1-5 in a row, they're going to make it 6.
All right. Last game of the Sunday afternoon morning slate. Got the Green Bay Packers visiting the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium. The road team favored by 1.5 points on this game. Hey, I'll start with myself. I've said it all. I haven't picked the Broncos once this season. Week 7, I'm now picking against the Broncos the 7th time this season. So far, I've been 6-0, looking to be 7-0 after this one. Broncos team's bad. Honestly, They should have been selling some assets this week. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so there's still potential that they might. But yeah, Jerry Jeudy should have been out the door along with some others. So Broncos, I get the sense from the locker room, nobody even wants to be on that team. Even Russell Wilson, who's just, rumors are, doesn't like Sean Payton. So everyone just wants to get out of there. Packers are actually fighting for something. They have something they need to prove. Jordan Love needs a bounce back game. I think this is the game for him. Give me the Packers. I think they win by a field goal in this game. Nick.
I'm with you, Chris. I really wish it was different, just like you. I know you do. But yeah, I'm going to take the Packers in this game because the Broncos look like a team more interested in rebuilding than they do actually winning. So for that, yeah, I agree with you that Jordan Love will probably have a bounce back game in this.
All right, that leaves us with Mr. Parlay, who's been on an island a lot this episode. Looks like he's back on that island. Tell us why you're picking the Donkeys for the second week in a row.
Where else would I be, guys? Let me tell you, this is a bad game. And a matchup between two bad teams, bad quarterbacks, bad everything. But when we have a matchup this bad, what do? You got to turn to something. I turn to the coaches. Sean Payton, a little bit better than LaFleur. At home, underdog. Come on, man. Broncos did play pretty well against the Chiefs. I think they can beat this Packers team. They're going to win this game.
Broncos have been playing pretty well against the Chiefs for now 16 games that they've lost in a row. So I'm tired of hearing that. It's like the Vance Joseph idiom of like, we had a great practice. I just don't care. I don't care how well you've played against the Chiefs. It doesn't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, sorry, a little triggered by that statement, but give me the Packers in this one just because I don't think you can hold those Chiefs games in any regard. So, all right, bye weeks this week. Bengals, Jets, Cowboys, Texans, Panthers, Titans. Ooh, good. Hey, good for the Bengals.
Did you forget anybody?
Who did I forget?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, Jesus.
That was a lot.
That's 6 fucking teams, man. Got me there. You got me there, Nick. Only 13 games this week. So, as for last week's results, I went 7-8. Yeah, Tony went 6-9. Nice. Nick went 6-9 as well. Nice. And so, as for the season standings, Tony's at a 59%. I'm at 51.6. Nick's at 44% for the season. So, hey, not doing too bad. Even Nick, I'd say you're doing better than the national average of people. So, but yeah, 13 games this week. We'll see how we do. We'll be back here tomorrow for Monday Night Football. Niners at Vikings. See what we have to say about that game. If not, we'll be back on our usual Wednesday, Thursday when we release our weekly recaps. And so we'll see you then. For the Sports Buds, I'm Chris Billings. For my co-hosts, Tony Parlay Reyes, Nicholas J. Kerr. Enjoy some football, folks.
Thanks for watching the Sports Buds. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.